Hello there, lovely good evening to you all our viewers tuned in to Camnet TV main news today, the 26th of August in the year 2026. Let's now take a look at the news headlines. CHANDA backs tighter licensing rules for Zambia's gold sector. ZCSA seizes expired beverages worth 4,120 kwacha in Lusaka. ZAQA urges SADC to harmonize recognition of qualifications. In international news, Guinea-Bissau to vote on constitution expanding presidential powers. In sports news, KAPYANGA urges stronger football partnerships after TP MAZEMBE visit. Join us for these and many more stories after the break.
For immediate coverage of any breaking or latest news in Zambia and around the world on Camnet television, call the numbers on your screen. Camnet television, bringing to your screens fair news, impartial news, credible and reliable news all the time. Get the whole truth on Camnet World News. Camnet Television, not just another channel.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UBZ Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UBZ Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries within Zambia and beyond, trust UBZ Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodland, Lusaka, Zambia. UBZ Courier, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
Camnet TV main news now showing on Topstar channel 106, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube and on the Kenstream app. With the main news in detail, I'm Tapelo Joe Smata. United Prosperous and Peaceful Zambia UPPZ leader Charles Chanda has backed government's planned introduction of separate licenses for businesses involved in downstream gold activities, saying the reforms will help curb smuggling and tax evasion. Mr. Chanda, who is a partner in the UPND Alliance, described the proposed licensing framework as a progressive step towards making Zambia's gold sector more transparent and accountable. His comments follow an announcement by Minister of Mines and Minerals Development Permanent Secretary KAPYANGA that companies involved in gold processing, buying and selling will require separate licenses once Parliament approves the proposed legal reforms. Mr. Chanda said the new licensing requirements would give authorities greater capacity to track gold production, processing and trading, making it harder for gold to move through informal and illegal channels. He said tighter regulation would also help Zambia collect more revenue from its gold resources and increase foreign exchange earnings as more gold enters the formal economy.
The introduction of a new license or new licenses for companies that handle gold after it is mined is welcome and a very progressive decision. I wish to take this opportunity to extend my gratitude to the President and through the Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Lands, Dr. KAPYANGA, for taking this decisive decision as we move to protect and to benefit from the resources that the Lord God himself has given us as a country. It is high time that activities in this industry are monitored and also benefit the government. Such a decision is indeed progressive, and sooner or later it will bear fruits, and everyone will be able to see that the government has done the correct thing. When more gold is properly recorded and exported, the country earns more taxes and foreign exchange, and this helps to increase the national GDP and total value of goods and services that are produced within the country.
The Zambia Compulsory Standards Agency, ZCSA, has seized 143 bottles of expired alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages worth 4,120 kwacha from a trading outlet in Lusaka. The agency said it seized the products this week after receiving a whistleblower tip on Sunday that the outlet was selling expired clear beer and energy drinks. The seized products include 35 bottles of Cassolite, 36 bottles of Black Label, and 22 bottles of Guinness, all classified as clear beer, as well as 50 cans of Red Bull energy drinks. Agency Manager for Communications and Public Relations, Brian Hachoka, said the products violated Zambian compulsory standards, including ZS 430 on clear beer specifications and ZS 1134 on energy drinks. He said the agency had placed the seized products in its custody pending disposal in accordance with the Compulsory Standards Act, Chapter 422 of the laws of Zambia. Mr. Hachoka warned businesses that supply or sell non-compliant products that risk punitive action, stressing that expired products can pose risks to public health and safety.
The Zambia Compulsory Standards Agency has seized 143 bottles of expired non-alcoholic and alcoholic beverages in Lusaka, valued at 4,120 kwacha, in a bid to protect consumers. The beverages, which were seized from a trading outlet in Lusaka this week, are Cassolite, Black Label, Guinness and Red Bull drinks. This followed a tip-off from a whistleblower on Sunday this week, indicating that a named outlet in Lusaka was selling expired clear beer and energy drinks contrary to Zambian standards ZS 430, ZS 1134 and the Compulsory Standards Act Chapter 422 of the laws of Zambia. The seized and withdrawn non-compliant products are currently in ZCSA custody, awaiting disposal in line with the Compulsory Standards Act. This withdrawal represents a preventive regulatory measure aimed at protecting consumers from potential risks associated with the sale and consumption of products which are beyond their stated shelf life. ZCSA warns of punitive actions against entities which are supplying non-compliant beverages and other products on the market, as such products pose a risk to public safety and health. The agency is urging the public to be vigilant and report to the nearest ZCSA office in provincial centers or border offices or head office in Osaka, or even through online platforms upon encountering suspicious products which are covered by compulsory standards. ZCSA is committed to enforcing compulsory standards in a bid to protect the health and safety of consumers. The agency has since enhanced its enforcement, public education and stakeholder engagements across Zambia in a bid to ensure that only safe products are traded on the Zambian market.
The Zambia Qualifications Authority, ZAQA, has called on SADC member states to harmonize the recognition of academic and professional qualifications to allow skilled workers to move freely across the region. ZAQA board chairperson Victor Zulu said differences in the way qualifications are assessed were limiting regional integration and preventing professionals from contributing fully to socio-economic development. Mr. Zulu said some graduates faced additional examinations when they sought to work or further their studies in other SADC countries, despite already holding recognized qualifications. He said the situation created unnecessary barriers to the movement of skills and undermined efforts to build a more integrated regional labor market. Mr. Zulu was speaking in Lusaka at the opening of a 3-day SADC Qualifications Framework Technical Working Group workshop. He urged member states to strengthen cooperation and establish common mechanisms for recognizing qualifications across borders. South Africa's Chief Director of Higher Education and Training, Philip Shabalala, supported the call and pledged his country's commitment to strengthening the SADC qualifications framework. ZAQA Director General Mesingoma said the workshop would review activities for 2026-2027 and advance regional guidance on referencing qualifications. She said the meeting would help member states strengthen the framework and improve the comparability and recognition of qualifications across the region. Moving on in the news, the Center for Trade Policy and Development, CTPD, has urged government to prioritize rural electrification in the 2027 national budget, warning that expanding Zambia's power generation capacity will have limited impact if electricity access remains unequal. CTPD researcher Mukuka Chilalika said the organization supported the ambition in the UPND 2026 manifesto and Zambia National Energy Compact to increase national electricity generation capacity to 10,000 megawatts. Mr. Chilalika, however, said installed capacity alone did not guarantee reliable electricity or translate automatically into economic development. CTPD records about 4,118 megawatts of installed generation capacity in 2025, but recent official figures show available domestic generation at about 1,635 megawatts against peak system demand of approximately 2,400 megawatts. Mr. Chilalika said government must therefore focus not only on adding generation capacity but also on improving reliability, distribution and access, particularly in rural areas.
The Center for Trade Policy and Development recognizes that increased electricity generation is critical to achieving the country's growth targets in key sectors such as mining, agriculture, and manufacturing. However, unlocking rural development also requires increased access to electricity. Increased rural electrification could enable greater productive use of electricity for agro-processing and value addition, potentially contributing to job creation. Access to electricity is also key to providing essential human development services such as education, skills training, and health care. Rural electricity access in Zambia is currently around 35%, which constrains value addition and other productive uses, as well as the provision of social services, thereby constraining rural industrialization and human development. As the government continues its growth and development agenda, its priorities in the energy sector should also deliberately connect new generation to productive rural uses. Promoting the productive use of electricity in rural areas will also support the government's goals in agriculture, industrialization, and job creation. The government could, therefore, in the upcoming budget presentation, dedicate additional resources to rural electrification by increasing allocations to the Rural Electrification Authority, continuing the deployment of solar mini-grids through the Constituency Development Fund, and creating an enabling policy environment for private sector investment in rural electrification. Rural electrification is key to improving the livelihoods of people in rural areas. The 10,000 megawatt generation target should therefore be accompanied by equally ambitious rural electrification and productive use targets.
The Water Resources Management Authority, WAMA, and the Office of the Public Protector have agreed to explore a Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) to strengthen cooperation on water governance, public accountability and issues affecting communities. WAMA Director General Misozi Ngulube said closer coordination between the two institutions would help address water-related concerns while improving the protection of citizens and public interest. Ms. Ngulube made the remarks when she paid a courtesy call on Public Protector Caroline Sokoni in Lusaka on Wednesday. The two institutions discussed water security, climate-related droughts and floods, pollution, illegal water abstraction, riverbank cultivation, and the protection of critical water resources. Ms. Ngulube said climate variability, rising demand, and human activities were placing increasing pressure on Zambia's water resources, making effective monitoring and planning essential. She said WAMA was strengthening water resource monitoring, data management, forecasting, and early warning systems while identifying and mapping strategic water resource areas across the country. Ms. Ngulube stressed the need for government to use water resource information when making decisions on land allocation, settlement development, and other activities that could affect critical water sources. She also called for a balance between water allocation and competing national needs, including agriculture, energy, domestic use, industry, and environmental protection. And Mrs. Sokoni welcomed WAMA's work and called for stronger collaboration between the two institutions, particularly in responding to water-related disasters and concerns affecting communities. The two institutions agreed to strengthen information sharing, referrals, public awareness, and coordinated responses to systemic issues that fall within their respective mandates. They said the proposed MOU would provide a structured framework for cooperation while preserving the statutory independence and mandates of both institutions. The partnership is expected to strengthen water governance, improve public service delivery, and ensure that citizens receive appropriate responses to water-related concerns. And that story takes us to our first set of commercials, but do join us for more news when we come back. Do stay tuned.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. ZAMBIA Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. ZAMBIA Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of ZAMBIA electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962-642-490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
Welcome back and thank you so much for still joining us on the Camnet News Desk. The main news continues. The Ministry of Agriculture has moved to institutionalize the Agriculture Joint Sector Review (JSR) to strengthen accountability, evidence-based decision-making and coordination in the agricultural sector. Director of Projects Management and Monitoring Department, Dr. Oscar Chita, who represented Permanent Secretary John Mulongoti, said the regular and functional JSR would help government track sector performance and ensure that agricultural policies, investments and programs deliver measurable results. Dr. Chita was speaking in Lusaka during the second capacity building clinic to support the operationalization of the Agriculture Joint Sector Review in Zambia held at Grand Palace Hotel. He said the revival of the JSR comes as government implements the Comprehensive Agriculture Transformation Program and pursues 10-3-1-1 production targets of 10 million metric tons of maize, 3 million metric tons of soya beans, 1 million metric tons of wheat, and 1 million metric tons of sugar. Zambia is projected to produce more than 5.1 million metric tons of maize during the current production season, a development Dr. Chita described as encouraging progress. Zambia and Conservation Force have agreed to strengthen cooperation in wildlife conservation and the sustainable management of the country's natural resources. Conservation Force President John J. Jackson III led a delegation that paid a courtesy call on Minister of Tourism Permanent Secretary Evans Muhanga on Wednesday, with the discussions focusing on Zambia's conservation priorities and sustainable tourism development. Mr. Muhanga said government attaches great importance to protecting Zambia's wildlife and natural heritage, which he described as some of the country's most valuable tourism assets. He stressed that conservation efforts must go beyond protecting wildlife and ecosystems and ensure that communities living alongside wildlife receive tangible benefits. King Long Motors Zambia Limited has handed over 100 fuel tankers to the Ministry of Youth, Sport and Arts under the government's Fuel Tanker Empowerment Program, targeting 12,000 youths across the country. Permanent Secretary Kangwa Chileshe said the handover marked a major milestone in government's efforts to tackle youth unemployment and expand young people's participation in the petroleum sector. The Fuel Tanker Empowerment Program was launched in 2020 to provide youths with opportunities to participate in the fuel transportation business and develop sustainable sources of income. Mr. Chileshe urged the beneficiaries to use the tankers productively and turn the assets into viable businesses that would generate income, create employment, and contribute to Zambia's economic growth. He said the program was intended not only to provide youths with assets but also to promote entrepreneurship and increase their participation in key sectors of the economy. King Long Motors Zambia Limited General Manager Wu Chuming reaffirmed the company's commitment to working with the government to promote youth empowerment and economic development. Mr. Wu said the company would continue supporting initiatives aimed at creating economic opportunities for young people. The handover is expected to strengthen the capacity of youth cooperatives involved in fuel transportation while supporting broader government efforts to increase youth participation in the economy. We take our final set of commercials, but do join us for sports and international news when we come back. Do stay tuned.
potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palabana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
Enjoy the benefits of an instant loan with us ranging from 1,000 kwacha to 750,000 kwacha paid express once collateral is viewed, valued and verified. Call us on 0763 595 359 or 0779 432 993. Classified Financial Express, here as your financial friend.
Did you know that you've got the right to complain against any radio or television broadcast? Did you also know that every radio or television station has an obligation to respond and address your complaints when aggrieved? The first step is to complain to the station not more than 3 months after the broadcast took place. It is expected that the station will respond reasonably to you, that is within 14 days. If not satisfied, then escalate your problem to the Independent Broadcasting Authority.
We're at Mass Media Complex, Ali King Carter Road,
PO Box 32475, Lusaka, or call us on +260 211 250589 or visit our website at www.iba.org.zm.
IBA, promoting ethical and professional broadcasting.
Every Monday to Thursday afternoon, join us for the Lunchtime Cafe. We get to bring to you emerging stories making the headlines, media news, and we remind you of what political leaders and governance actors said back in the days. In Forgotten Stories, we emphasize to you the importance of eating healthy foods and leading healthy lifestyles on the Nutrition Corner. Get the latest updates in sports and critical interviews. Because we value your contribution to national matters, we accord you an opportunity to share your perspectives during the viewers' reactions. The Camnet TV Lunchtime Cafe is an all-inclusive buffet. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Welcome back and thank you so much for still staying with us on the Camnet News Desk. And now, in international news. Guinea-Bissau is set to vote on a new constitution this Sunday that would significantly expand the powers of the presidency and reshape the country's political system ahead of elections planned for December. The referendum comes less than a year after military officers seized power in a coup, just one day before electoral authorities were due to announce the results of a presidential election. Under the proposed constitution, the president would gain power to appoint and dismiss prime minister and cabinet, create or abolish ministries, and chair the council of ministers. The president could also dissolve parliament in the event of a grave political crisis and dismiss the government in certain circumstances. The reform would also reduce parliament from 102 seats to 65 and cut the number of electoral constituencies from 29 to 12. Supporters say the changes could reshape the country's political institutions, but critics warn they would concentrate too much power in the presidents. The proposed constitution would also introduce a new requirement for presidential candidates to have lived permanently in Guinea-Bissau for the previous 5 years. The referendum is due to take place on August 30, followed by general elections in December. Here's a roundup of international stories courtesy of Africa News.
Guinea-Bissau is set to vote on a new constitution this Sunday that would significantly expand the powers of the presidency and reshape the country's political system ahead of elections planned for December. The referendum comes less than a year after military officers seized power in a coup, just one day before electoral authorities were due to announce the results of a presidential election. Under the proposed constitution, the president would gain the power to appoint and dismiss the prime minister and cabinet, create or abolish ministries, and chair the council of ministers. The president could also dissolve parliament in the event of a grave political crisis and dismiss the government in certain circumstances. The reform would also reduce parliament from 102 seats to 65 and cut the number of electoral constituencies from 29 to 12. The referendum is due to take place on August 30, followed by general elections in December.
Police in Haiti are scrambling to respond after armed men attacked Kenskoff, a once peaceful community near Port-au-Prince. At least 47 people were killed and more than 50 kidnapped in one of the country's largest mass abductions in years. Now a gang leader is threatening to kill the hostages if authorities target his fighters. Gang leaders have killed many people in their homes. Entire families have lost their lives right where they lived. In one instance, gang members locked people inside a house and set it on fire with them inside. There have also been numerous kidnappings in cases of people being held captive. Sunday's attack on Kenskoff shattered hopes that security in Haiti was improving. For 17-year-old Kenson Paul, the violence was deeply personal. Gangs kidnapped his parents and 6 other family members. The bandits did a lot of damage. They killed a lot of young men in the area. The attack may be more than just violence. It could be a show of force aimed at Haiti's government and police ahead of December's elections, the first in more than a decade. Armed gangs already control an estimated 70% of Port-au-Prince as their grip expands across the country.
Dolly Parton, the country music legend whose distinctive voice, singwriting and dazzling style made her one of the world's most beloved entertainers, has died at the age of 80. Parton rose from a poor childhood in the Tennessee mountains to become a global superstar crossing the worlds of country music, pop, film and television. She wrote hundreds of songs including classics such as Jolene, Coat of Many Colors and I'll Always Love You. Her songs have sold more than 100 million copies worldwide and generated more than 1 billion online streams. Patton's career began in church and a local television before she moved to Nashville after high school. Beyond entertainment, Patton was known for her philanthropy. Inspired by her father's struggle with literacy, she founded the Imagination Library, providing free books for children. With 55 Grammy nominations and 10 wins, Patton became one of the most decorated women in Grammy history.
And finally, in sports news this evening, Ghana Football Club Chief Executive Officer Mwansa KAPYANGA has called for stronger football partnerships across Africa following Congolese giants TP Mazembe's visit to Zambia. KAPYANGA said encounters between established African clubs provide valuable opportunities for players and technical teams to gain experience and identify areas for improvement. He was speaking after Nkana hosted TP Mazembe in a closed-door pre-season friendly, which the visitors won 3-1. Mr. KAPYANGA said Nkana was pleased to host a club of Mazembe's stature and described the encounter as an important learning opportunity for the club. He said the friendly gave Nkana's players valuable exposure while allowing the technical bench to assess the squad against high-level opposition. KAPYANGA also backed continued cooperation between the two clubs and broader partnerships.
Honestly, it's always a pleasure to host successful teams, and TP Mazembe is one of those big teams on the continent and of course recognized world over. So we're happy to have them around. We're happy we're able to have this practice match, which has given us a lot of exposure to our players. Exactly. And also to our technical bench, because then we get to learn and to see where we can improve. Looking at TP, I think they're in the Champions League, and we wish them well as they obviously play in Ghana, and I think we need to continue with such partnerships. President Eric Moses and everyone around that want to promote football on the African continent. So thank you so much, Missy Buku.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.
And on that sporting note, we come to the end of this edition of Main News on Camnet TV. But before we go, a recap of stories that made headlines. CHANDA backs tighter licensing rules for Zambia's gold sector. ZCSA seizes expired beverages worth 4,120 kwacha in Lusaka. ZAQA urges SADC to harmonize recognition of qualifications. In international news, Guinea-Bissau to vote on constitution expanding presidential powers. In sports news, KAPYANGA urges stronger football partnerships after TP Mazembe visit. We now look at the Camnet verse for the day, coming from the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 8. It reads, "And God is able to make all grace abound toward you, that ye, always having all sufficiency in all things, may abound to every good work." That concludes this edition of the Bible reading, and that ends this edition of Main News on Camnet TV. But dear viewer, like always, be reminded that Camnet TV is not just another channel. Now showing on Top Star channel 106, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on the Kenstream app. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Tapelo Joe Smarter. Good evening and God bless.